The investigation would later reveal that the three armed shooters were Sean Gaithright, Rashard Murphy, and Davion Murphy. Detectives used footage from the scene, license plate readers, and phone logs to identify two vehicles and link them back to the suspects. Furthermore, it was found that the shooters are members of or affiliated with rival gangs of Jones that go by ATK and 1200.
You're good. Come on out. Hands up. Put your hands up.
Target to the officer.
Can't tell.
Your target? Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah. Yep. Put your hands up.
Put
your hands in the air. Hands up.
Hands in the air. Hands in the air.
All right. Slowly walk toward me. Let's go. Right here. Right here. Walk right here. Let's go. Yeah.
Walk this way. Listen to the instructions.
Yep.
Hey, keep your hands up and walk out towards me. Hey, over here.
Come this way.
Over here. You're going to get hit with the less lethal. Get your hands up and walk toward me. Hands up and walk toward me. Hands up and walk toward me. Keep coming. 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 Stop. Stop. Turn around. Keep your hands up. Turn around. Hands up. Keep your hands up. Hands up. Don't reach for your waist. Do not reach for your waist. Look at me. Back up to me. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. All right, go to your knees. Put your hands behind your back. Stay there. Stay there. Don't move.
4 arrests made, 1 suspect on the run. We've got the names, the motives, and the shocking details of how Foolio's killers were caught. June 23rd, 2024, Tampa, Florida. The Holiday Inn was bumping with Foolio's birthday bash. Music blasted, drinks flowed, and the crowd was hyped. But beneath the party vibes, danger lurked in the shadows. Suddenly, gunshots ripped through the air. Screams echoed as chaos erupted. Bodies hit the floor, and blood stained the carpet. When the smoke cleared, Foolio lay motionless. His 26th birthday celebration turned deadly. 5 shooters, 1 target. The streets whispered their names, but cops were hot on their trail. This wasn't just another rapper getting popped. It was the climax of a long-standing beef between ATK and TKA, a gang war that had claimed too many lives. And now, we're about to uncover the twisted web that led to Foolio's final moments. As the echoes of gunshots faded at the Holiday Inn, Tampa PD rolled up to a scene of pure chaos. Blood-stained carpets, shell casings scattered everywhere, and panicked partygoers trying to make sense of what just went down. Foolio's birthday bash had turned into a crime scene, and the cops were left with more questions than answers. At first, it was a mess. Witnesses were shook, giving conflicting stories about what they saw. Some said it was 1 shooter. Others swore they saw a whole squad roll up. The hotel's security cameras caught bits and pieces, but nothing clear enough to ID the shooters. It was like trying to put together a puzzle with half the pieces missing. But Tampa's finest didn't back down. They went old school, hitting the streets, talking to anyone who might have seen or heard something. They pieced together cell phone videos, combed through social media, and started connecting the dots. Slowly but surely, a picture started to emerge. The breakthrough came when they got their hands on some surveillance footage from outside the hotel. It showed a group of men tracking Foolio's moves, following him from spot to spot before the shooting went down. This wasn't some random hit, it was a coordinated attack. As the investigation heated up, 5 names kept popping up. The streets were talking, and the cops were listening. But they needed more than whispers to make arrests. They dug deeper, following every lead, no matter how small. First up was Isaiah Chance. This dude was known to run with ATK, one of the gangs beefing with Foolio's crew. The evidence against him started piling up fast. Next came Alicia Andrews. She wasn't just some random, she had ties to ATK too. The cops were building a case, showing how these gang connections played into the hit. Sean Gaithright was the 3rd name on the list. With him in the mix, it was clear this wasn't just one gang's work. The plot was thickening, showing how deep this beef beef really went, but the story wasn't over. Two more suspects were still in the wind, Rashad and Davian Murphy. These brothers were tied to the 1200 gang, adding another layer to this twisted tale of street justice. Tampa Police Chief Lee Burkaw didn't mince words when he laid it out.
A little more than a month ago, a group of individuals with the goal of premeditated murder traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa to commit a heinous crime in our city.
This wasn't some heat of the moment thing. These cats planned it out, crossing state lines to take Foolio out. The pieces were falling into place, painting a picture of a hit that was months in the making. ATK and 1200, two gangs that usually stayed in their own lanes, teamed up for one common goal, taking out Foolio, a key player in the rival 6 Block gang. As the cops closed in, the streets were buzzing. Word was spreading about who did what, but solid proof was still needed to make the charges stick. The detectives were working around the clock, building a case that would hold up in court. 3 down, 2 to go. Isaiah Chance, Alicia Andrews, and Sean Gathright were in cuffs, facing serious time. But Rashad and Davian Murphy were still ghosting, keeping the cops on their toes. Foolio's story didn't start with his death at the Holiday Inn. Nah, this tale of violence and survival goes way back. At just 15, Charles Jones, the youngin' who'd become Foolio, caught his first bullet. That day changed everything, setting him on a path that'd make him both a target and a star. Growing up in Jacksonville's roughest hoods, Foolio learned quickly that life was cheap. He saw friends die, enemies rise, and bullets fly before he could even legally drive. That first shooting, it wasn't just some random hit. It was a wake-up call, a brutal introduction to the game he'd spend the next decade playing.
Then at 16 years old, you get shot yourself.
15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened with that?
Okay. So this was like my first day of school, like, cause I had got kicked out of a school for fighting, right? They sent me to an alternative school in the ops hood who I was beefing with, like, they sent me, it's called Grand Park. They sent me to this school, right, in my ops neighborhood. So one of the boys from that hood actually died that morning, and they thought I had something to do with it, like, and he died getting on the school bus.
As Foolio got older, the violence never let up. In 2019, his brother Adrian Gaynor caught a bullet and didn't make it. That loss hit Foolio hard, fueling his rage and his music. He started dropping tracks that were more than just songs. They were war cries, hit lists, and street news all rolled into one.
Say if you from out of town, right? You from out of town. I'm from Jacksonville though. Me and my aunt, we from Jacksonville. You from out of town, right? So you see what we got going on. So just cause you rocking with a rapper, you rocking with that don't fuck with me, you act like you my aunt now. You get what I'm saying? So now you act like you my aunt. Now you dissing me in songs saying F my dad, homeboys, this and that. How I'ma feel? What I just supposed to sit back, just, you know what I'm saying, be quiet, don't say nothing. If it was me on the other end, nigga would've did the same thing, they would've turned up. You know what I'm saying? This man used to wear the bibby jerseys. He used to wear the bibby jerseys all type, like, he done diss me in songs. I don't even smoke weed though, but I'm smoking a J-Vape.
Take his track List of Dead Ops. In it, Foolio doesn't just rap. He names names, calling out every rival he's got beef with, living or dead. It's the kind of track that gets you respect on the streets and a target on your back. But Foolio didn't care. He was all in, using his bars to fan the flames of the ATK and TKA war. November 2021 saw Foolio dodge death again. 100 shots fired his way and not one connected. Most people would have gone into hiding after that, but not Foolio. He jumped on social media, taunting his would-be killer. Y'all miss a whole 100 shots literally. The man was untouchable, or so he thought. But all that bravado came with a price. By 2023, even Foolio was feeling the heat. He posted on Insta, talking about how the last few months had been tragic. Seems like those close calls were starting to add up, weighing on him more than he let on. In Jacksonville's drill rap scene, Foolio was king, but being on top meant everyone was gunning for his spot. His music wasn't just entertainment, it was a battleground. Every track dropped was like pulling the pin on a grenade, just waiting to see who'd get hit in the blast. Foolio's whole image was built on the idea that he couldn't be killed. He'd even brag about not dying and having some voodoo. It was part superstition, part street cred, and all attitude. But in the end, no amount of voodoo could stop what was coming.
I say, my grandma do voodoo, and we chop the head off a goose. I got a couple songs referencing like stuff, cause like that's what I'm tied in with. You get what I'm saying?
As the years went by, the pattern became clear. Every beef, every diss track, every social media taunt, it was all building to something. The violence wasn't random. It was a cycle, feeding itself, growing more intense with each rotation. Foolio wasn't just a part of it. He was at the center, stirring the pot with every bar he spit. From that first shooting at 15 to the hail of bullets in 2021, Foolio's life was a series of near misses and close calls. Each time he survived, his legend grew, but so did the target on his back. It was like he was playing Russian roulette with fate, and the chamber was getting fuller with each pull of the trigger. Now Jacksonville's streets ain't just hot because of the Florida sun. They're burning with a gang war that's been raging for years, turning the city's rap scene into a battleground. ATK and TKA, two crews that started as neighborhood beefs, have become the main players in a deadly game where music and murder go hand in hand. ATK, short for Ace That Killer, is led by Youngeen Ace. This crew's got roots in the city's west side, and they've been making noise both on the streets and in the studio. On the other side, you've got KTA, Kill Them All, with Foolio as their frontman. These boys rep the 6th block, and they've been holding it down on the east side. But this ain't just about turf, it's personal. Back in 2018, Youngeen Ace survived a quadruple shooting that took out his brother and 2 friends. From that day on, the beef between ATK and KTA went nuclear. Every track became a battle cry. Every social media post a potential death threat. The Jacksonville hip-hop scene, it's been caught in the crossfire. Artists are forced to pick sides or risk getting caught up in a war they never asked for. Take Spot 'em Got 'em, another rising star from the city. He's been shot at, beefing with both sides, just trying to make his mark in a scene where your next hit could be your last. Social media's turned this beef into a 24/7 spectacle. These guys ain't just dissing each other in the booth anymore. They're taking to Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to keep the drama going. One post leads to another, and before you know it, someone's loading up, ready to make good on their digital threats. The diss tracks, they're like gasoline on a fire. Youngeen Ace dropped Who I Smoke in 2021, and it wasn't just a song. It was a declaration of war, naming Foolio's dead homies over a pop sample. Foolio clapped back with When I See You, keeping the cycle of violence spinning.
Doing videos in cemeteries and so forth.
No, I said, this ain't nothing. It wasn't never nothing new. Like, them names ain't nothing new. Like,
Yeah.
well, them names new, but I'm saying, like, the situation, speaking on dead people ain't nothing.
But it ain't just about the music. These tracks are like news bulletins from the front lines. Each verse is packed with street intel, calling out who's next, who's scared, who's hiding. It's a war of words that's spilling over into real bloodshed. The cops are calling ATK and KTA dangerous gangs, but on the streets, they're more than that. They're armies, with soldiers ready to ride for their side at a moment's notice. Every diss, every threat, every man-down post on social media, it's all building to something bigger, deadlier. In this world, respect is everything, and disrespect, that's a death sentence. When Foolio's crew filmed a music video at the grave of a fallen ATK member, it wasn't just disrespect. It was a challenge, a dare for ATK to step up and prove they weren't soft. More bodies dropping, more diss tracks dropping, and a cycle of violence that seems like it'll never end. Every funeral becomes a potential target. Every music video a chance to send a message. The streets are always watching, always listening, waiting for the next move in this deadly chess game. As the dust settled on Foolio's murder, all eyes turned to his longtime rival, Youngeen Ace. The streets were buzzing with rumors, pointing fingers at the ATK frontman. But was Ace really behind the hit, or was this just another chapter in their ongoing beef? Hours after Foolio's death, Youngeen Ace dropped a diss track called Do It. The timing alone raised eyebrows, but the lyrics, they had people talking. Ace wasn't shy about celebrating Foolio's demise, spitting bars that seemed to dance on his rival's grave. It was bold, even for the Jacksonville rap scene, but Ace wasn't done. He followed up with another track, Game Over, and this one had jaws dropping. Y'all know I smoke dead people, man, Ace rapped, before diving into details about the shooting that had people wondering how he knew so much. Was this just Ace flexing his street connections, or was he telling on himself? Then came the bombshell. A man stepped forward, claiming Youngeen Ace had put a $10,000 bounty on Foolio's head. Ace had that money on his head, the witness said, painting a picture of a premeditated hit orchestrated by Ace himself. If true, this wasn't just beef, it was murder for hire.
Hey, on everything I love, bro. On the dead homies, bro. I put it on everything on my soul, on my kid. I'm the one that smacked Foolio that night when he got dropped at his birthday celebration, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna show my face or give my identity away or nothing like that, but you know, I did that, you feel me? It was money on his head, you feel me? I rock with Ace and them boys, you feel me? ATK, you feel me? I be in Jacksonville heavy, you feel me? If you know, you know. But yeah, you feel me? I did that, you feel me? I handled that cause, you know, Ace had that money on his head, you know, Ace had them put that 10K up. Told me to slide, told me to smack fool, cause you know he got tired of that running his mouth playing all the time, you feel me? So what had to be done, you feel what I'm saying? So I just handled it, you feel me? It was what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, about that money, anybody could get it, you feel me? And, you know, Foolio had it coming to him, so, you know, I don't really feel sorry, you feel me? A lot of people think that, you know, it was on some gang shit, you know, and all that. Like, it ain't even really all that, you feel me? Like, bro, just, you feel me? Ace put that bread up, you feel me? And whoever wanted to take it. So I took that, you feel me? So, rest in peace, Foolio.
But hold up, before we convict Ace in the court of public opinion, let's look at the facts, or rather, the lack of them. Despite all the rumors and rap lyrics, hard evidence linking Ace to Foolio's murder was scarce. The cops hadn't named him as a suspect, and Ace himself was quick to deny any involvement. And get this, the hunt for Foolio's killers kicked into high gear as Tampa PD pieced together the puzzle. They weren't dealing with amateurs, these were seasoned street soldiers who knew how to move in the shadows. But even the smartest criminals slip up, and that's exactly what happened here. First to fall was Isaiah Chance, 21. Cops tracked him down through a series of burner phones and social media posts. He thought he was slick, but his digital footprint led the police right to his door. When they kicked it in, Chance was caught with his pants down, literally. He was on the toilet, scrolling through his phone, when the cops slapped the cuffs on him. Next up, Alicia Andrews, also 21. She played it cool for a minute, even posting on Instagram about her hot girl summer while the heat was on. But her freedom was short-lived. A tip from a confidential informant led to her arrest at a gas station. She was filling up her ride, thinking she was in the clear, when unmarked cars boxed her in from all sides. The youngest of the crew, Sean Gathright, 18, thought he could hide out at his grandma's crib. Big mistake. Turns out, Granny wasn't about that life. When she realized her grandson was wanted for murder, she made an anonymous call to the cops. They rolled up while Sean was passed out on the couch, drooling on his PlayStation controller.
Keep walking. Now turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Is there anybody else inside?
But the real drama went down with Rashad Murphy, 30. This dude was ready to go out like Scarface. When the cops surrounded his apartment complex, Murphy barricaded himself inside, screaming about how he wasn't going back to jail. For hours, negotiators tried to talk him down while SWAT teams got into position. In the end, it wasn't bullets that brought Murphy out, it was tear gas. He came stumbling out, eyes watering, hands up, looking nothing like the hard street soldier he pretended to be. With 4 suspects in custody, the evidence started piling up. Surveillance footage from the Holiday Inn showed the crew stalking Foolio, moving through the lobby like sharks circling their prey. Cell phone data placed them all at the scene. And then there were the witnesses, partygoers who'd seen the whole thing go down, now ready to talk after the initial shock wore off. But the smoking gun? It was a literal smoking gun. The murder weapon, tossed in a dumpster a few blocks from the hotel, still had prints on it. Ballistics matched it to the bullets pulled from Foolio's body. Game over. As for the charges, the state wasn't playing. All 4 suspects got hit with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. In Florida, that's no joke. We're talking life without parole, minimum. And with the evidence stacked against them, these cats were looking at spending their golden years behind bars.
And are all charged with 1 count of murder in the first degree, premeditated, with the discharge of a firearm, and 1 count of conspiracy of murder in the first degree, premeditated, with the discharge of a firearm.
But the story ain't over yet. Davian Murphy, 27, is still in the wind. Brother to Rashad, he's believed to be one of the main triggermen. Last seen heading north on I-95, Davian's face is plastered on wanted posters from Florida to New York. The streets are talking, saying he might have crossed state lines, maybe even left the country. But with his crew locked up and singing to save their own skins, it's only a matter of time before Davian's luck runs out.
The sheriff did confirm that police did make arrest, and now the fourth suspect involved in the Foolio shooting death. So I want to show you this new video that JSO released. It shows the overnight standoff at Collins Preserve Apartments between I-295 and College Road. Officers confirmed just a few minutes ago that they arrested Rashad Murphy, again, the fourth person arrested in Foolio's shooting death. They believe there's 5 people involved in this death. Now, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and U.S. Marshal Service tracked Murphy to that apartment complex, off Collins Road, where they arrested him. Now, we were there earlier. We do know that Murphy was wanted for murder in Tampa in regards to this death. They are still searching for that 5th person that they believe is involved. As of now, we know that all 4 suspects that have been arrested, police say, have been linked to gang affiliations in the area. Now, prior to this arrest, we do know that Rashad Murphy was facing, or is facing rather, first-degree murder charges, among other things. Police say it was Rashad Murphy and another man who fired shots at the rapper the night he was killed.
With 4 of the 5 suspects behind bars, the cops started digging deep into the why. This wasn't just some random hit. It was personal, calculated, and rooted in years of bad blood between Jacksonville's most notorious gangs. The streets had been talking about a bounty on Foolio's head for months. 10 grand to anyone who could take him out. At first, it seemed like just another empty threat in the ongoing war between ATK and TKA. But as detectives pieced together the evidence, a chilling picture emerged. Turns out, the hit on Foolio wasn't just about gang pride or street cred. It was business, pure and simple. The ATK crew had been losing ground, both on the streets and in the rap game. Foolio's rise was cutting into their profits, and they couldn't have that. So they decided to take him out, once and for all. But here's where it gets twisted. The shooters weren't just ATK soldiers. They were a mix of players from different sets, all brought together by one common goal: taking down Foolio. It was like the Avengers of the street, if the Avengers were a bunch of trigger-happy gangbangers. The plan was set in motion weeks before Foolio's birthday. The crew had eyes on him, tracking his every move. They knew about the Airbnb he'd booked for his party. But when that fell through due to capacity issues, they thought their chance was blown.
Pool party start the day at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address or DM Foolio booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man. It's up. Got me drinking, cuz. I don't even drink, cuz. Hold on.
You're supposed to have a chaser.
Appreciate everybody popping out for my birthday, you know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Everybody got their shot, put their shot in the air, man. Okay, David. Everybody take their shit on 3, man. 1, 2, 3. Got my brother with me. He done popped out for me for my birthday. He done time. It's lit. Oh God, yeah. We came deep and fuck for my birthday, man. Everybody coming out the stairs. No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as hell. We deep as hell. 20 deep. Lit everywhere we go.
Then came the break they were waiting for. Word got out that Foolio had moved his bash to the Holiday Inn. For the hit squad, it was like Christmas came early. A hotel meant security cameras, sure, but it also meant easy access. No need to worry about Foolio's usual crew of bodyguards or the tight security of a club. The night of the hit, the crew rolled up to the Holiday Inn like they were guests, blended right in with the party crowd. They had it all planned out: who would watch the exits, who would create a distraction, and who would pull the trigger. But things didn't go exactly as planned. Foolio, always paranoid, always watching his back, spotted something off. He made a break for it, heading for his car in the parking lot. That's when all hell broke loose. Surveillance footage shows Foolio driving off, the shooter's hot on his tail. Shots rang out, people screamed, and chaos erupted. When the smoke cleared, Foolio was down, hit multiple times. The shooters scattered, thinking they'd just written themselves into street legend.
This is at the hotel, and you can see the shooters are getting in position for their planned out murder. And they are shooting at Charles now, and you can see that he's the passenger in that car that's moving and trying to flee. And again, they're still shooting at him. He's the right front passenger in that vehicle.
What they didn't count on was the level of heat this would bring down. This wasn't just another gang hit. This was the murder of a rising star, someone with a following beyond the streets. The cops weren't about to let this one slide. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that this hit was about more than just silencing Foolio. It was a message to everyone in Jacksonville's rap scene. Step out of line and you're next. The implications were huge. Other rappers started beefing up security, canceling shows, and watching their backs. But here's the kicker. The hit on Foolio didn't end the war. If anything, it poured gasoline on the fire. TKA wasn't about to let this go unanswered. Retaliation was coming, and everyone knew it. The streets of Jacksonville were a powder keg, just waiting for a spark. For the cops, solving Foolio's murder was just the beginning. They were staring down the barrel of an all-out gang war, with the potential for bodies to start dropping left and right. And caught in the middle of it all was Jacksonville's hip-hop scene, a world where music and murder had become dangerously intertwined.
I want to send a clear message to anyone that the city of Tampa is not where you want to come to settle a dispute. You will be charged, you will be arrested, and you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent possible.
Now, 4 of Foolio's killers are locked up, facing life in prison. But Davion Murphy's still ghost, probably halfway across the country by now. The streets of Jacksonville are quiet, but it's the kind of quiet that comes before a storm. Everyone's waiting to see if TKA will hit back, or if the cycle of violence might finally break. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about this. Will the 5th suspect be caught? Will there be more gang-related violence after these arrests? Give me your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.